And they say, we will give you $1 million for your medical school if you teach pharmaceutical drugs in your medical school. So the doctors come out, they're very happy because they got this wonderful building, all these high-paid teachers, the best talent, the best brains you can buy, all funded by tax-exempt foundation money. But what comes out of that is that the doctors are taught drugs, drugs, drugs.
Psychiatry itself as a profession is one gigantic mind control operation.
What happens when the habits demonstrated by groups of individuals reflect the outsourcing of their intelligence to so-called experts and authoritarians who are self-appointed to make decisions on their behalf?
You can have a psychiatrist testify in court that somebody has ADHD or clinically depressed or this or that, but every one of those official mental disorders is a total lie and a fraud because there is no diagnostic test for any of these disorders. Not ADHD, not bipolar, not depression, not schizophrenia, not anything that you've ever heard of that is a discrete mental disorder.
The American Psychiatric Association has a committee, and they create this thing called the DSM, their Diagnostic Bible. And they decide what goes in there. And they decide that certain people who don't pay attention to boring things have this disorder called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And if you accept that you have a disease, as opposed to like, well, maybe I'm somebody who can really pay attention to things that are interesting me, but I'm somebody who's stubborn enough to not really want to pay attention to things that are boring for me. And that maybe that's a good thing. That's how you maybe have something really a worthy contribution, as opposed to allowing people who are bores to fill up your whole life. You only want to listen to things that actually really are interesting for you. If you accept these ideas, though, that you have a disease or there's something essentially wrong with you, you're going to be more a prey to authorities controlling you.
And some of these drugs, such as the SSRI antidepressants like Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft, and so on, are known to induce violent behavior, including suicide and homicide. And you have a profession like psychiatry that is seeding the country, like planting seeds in a garden and a farm. With these diagnoses and these drugs, this is Operation Chaos.
Part of the problem of psychology, psychiatry, when it comes to diagnosis is that they really seem to have no political awareness of their pathologizing of anti-authoritarianism, of stubbornness, of rebellion. This is, I think, a part of the reason for that is I think that an overwhelming number of psychiatrists, psychologists, mental health professionals are more kind of compliant people. And when they see non-compliant, more stubborn, more oppositional kinds of patients, especially young people, that creates a lot of anxiety for them.
And so you have this power, and you do this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. These little seeds, which are drugs, you see, that affect the brain in various unpredictable and horrendous ways. And you have that power to do that for 50 years. Don't you think you could really call that mind control? That's mind control par excellence.